Hey guys, it's Kim here and welcome to Her Story. I've been quite intrigued by this game because I love a good detective story, a good murder mystery. So for those of you who don't know, this is an FMV game, so something that runs off of actually real videos. And we basically have to go through an old police archive and piece together the story of this witness and see, well, whether or not she did a bad murder. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. So this is the whole game. So we are playing sort of, I guess, as a detective. And this is the computer software we have to try and piece together this murder. So if we go to the README first, Introduction to the Logic Database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic Database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner that will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be one of those computers where you can be like, enhance. So this is from an archive in Portsmouth, which I believe is where the developer's from. So basically, each statement is made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to court. So it's kind of like, I guess, Tumblr, I suppose. There's certain tag words you have to type into this to bring up specific video clips. And then it has little bits of audio. So to retrieve a clip, type in a word like robbery, click search, but if we want to do more, we can use robbery supermarket. And apparently this search engine is so high-tech, you can actually type in statements like, yes, I was there, which is one I think I will try later. But we have to do that in inverted commas. So we can tag things ourselves as well to build up our own database, that sort of thing. Really README. So here we go. Hey! Here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999 and then got the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. I don't remember the Y2K thing ever actually hitting. Anyway, no one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded. Convenient. But figured this would be enough. Take your time. So, I guess we might as well start with this. So the idea is we have tapes of a woman, don't know her name, but apparently, I guess she's done a murder. Who of? I'm not sure yet. I tried not to read too much into this. I kind of just wanted to see, you know, indie game, cool indie game. I like indie games, with an interesting concept. So let's get started and see what the story is. Apparently, I'll tell you later on, but let's just start.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay, so there's been a bad murder. Let's carry on.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Okay, so we have a name there. I've got a notepad as well in front of me because you know, why not? Let's do this in the manual. So there's something to do with February there. Now I'm going to go through the rest of these two clips before we pick up on some of the clues coming up. I
didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Well, everyone says that, sweetheart. I don't think very many people confess to actual murder. Oops. Play.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
She's quite a cool lady. I don't know her name, so hopefully we'll find that out. So those are the first clips. So apparently there's someone called Simon, who I'm guessing is related to her or is in her life. So I guess let's start with Simon. That's a nice easy one, isn't it? So 61 entries found, but we're limited to the first 5. Now, if you'll notice, there's dates in all these. So she was interviewed 7 times by the police. So there should be kind of 7 versions of her, I guess, but they've snipped the interviews up into like little sections so that there's specific keywords, like it said in this bit, to bring it out in a trial, so they can search for a specific statement. So let's work our way through these. So keep an eye on like these time codes. So that's the first one, 18. So that's 17, 18. So these are chronologically, so put them together and we'll get kind of an exact statement. Now, the other thing I've done is I've noted down on my notepad every time we see a different version of her, what date that version is. So this version is on the 18th of June, which as far as I can see so far is the earliest iteration of her. The orange shirt that we saw first was 27th of June, and the blue t-shirt was the 1st of July, where she mentioned February. So hopefully we can kind of get a vague idea for chronology, because that's what good detectives do.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things.
Okay, so that seems kind of key. So let's type, so Simon Smith. So I'm going to add that down there because that seems like a lot of crucial information in one clip. Let's go to the next one.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay. So fairly good so far.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Let's play that one again because I want that other woman's
the
name there.
Arms, The Rock.
So I'm guessing this is a
It's run
pub.
by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
Peter and Susan.
There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with.
And Helen is the
And the
barmaid.
barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen.
Lots of information in
Peter
these
said
ones
Simon
here.
had been in and had a few drinks.
So lots of threads we can go off on. So I hope you guys are playing along at home as well and making your own notes so we can compare them in the comments below. See if you can
Yes.
point out anything I've missed.
There's an Amstrad one.
Amstrad?
No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. You know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Okay, so that's the kind of computer that Lord Sugar from The Apprentice made. Well, publicised. Sold.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
I'm presuming he's alive at this point.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Yeah, so it seems to me that he still seems... at least she thinks that he's still alive. So I'm going to note that down in my notes. So we've got a lot to go on here. So let's try Simon Smith and see what that brings up. Okay, so no, it's the same. Smith. Okay, so two different ones.
My name is Hannah.
Hannah?
Hannah. It's a palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Okay. Gladstone. Wait, no. Hannah info. So it turns out that Yogscast Hannah did it. So that's, wow, that's pretty cool that we found that out almost straight away. I was thinking it was going to take ages to get it. Oh my god, does it look, is she in a lie detector test there? There we go. So what's the date on this one? The 3rd of July. Okay, cool.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Okay. So if we talk lie detector. Oh, here we go. So we've got more. So are these in chronological order? 11:26, 11:26:52, 11:28. Okay, so these are in chronological order.
Yes. I'll take a lie detector test.
Okay, so on the 3rd of July, she decided to take a lie detector test. Well, she agreed to it.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work?
Well, according to Jeremy Kyle, it's 99% correct, or at least the one he uses for his show. Don't ever watch his show.
My name. That was the only question I failed.
Oh.
Your lie detector works.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Failed name? So what's her name? So let's keep that down there. Failed name? What is your name? What is my name? What is my name? There we go, okay. So that looks like it was before the test?
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Okay, so this to me, I'm gonna type in that. That seems like an affair. It seems like, so she's not his wife, I presume. So what time was this? This was at 11:54, and the lie detector was held at, so this was after the lie detector went through. And then she spilled her name. Let's see if there's anything new for Hannah Smith, so there isn't. She mentioned tattoo. Okay, so let's go for the earliest one. So this is where we haven't cracked out that she's got the wrong name.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not books so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
She seems fairly impassive in these early stages. So this is, by my count, about a couple of interviews in.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
An apple and a snake, so... Hold on a minute. He said he liked her tattoo, he guessed her name from her tattoo. So was her original name Eve? Let's see.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, So I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
Wow, she seems quite cold. So that came before she mentioned how she met him and he guessed her name from the tattoo. So
he saw me singing.
So that's putting two and two together.
Shows.
She went and got a job at a bedsit at a bar.
Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was.
So how did she know who he was?
He was fascinated by the likeness.
And the likeness to his wife?
Guessed my name from my tattoo.
He guessed my name from my tattoo, so she didn't
Well,
have...
it was a palindrome, like that would impress me.
I'll go to the end of this.
I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time.
So she's a bit of a stalker.
He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
So part of me is starting to think that maybe she was a bit of a stalker, someone who was quite obsessed with him, who watched him from afar. Because she knew who he was, but he didn't know who she was. So she says...
I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
And a snake. And he said he guessed her name from it. So is her name Eve? Let me try and spell properly there. Oh, whoa. 7 entries found. And a new day. So this is 30th. Just going through my notes. I'm writing notes like crazy here. 30th. So this is about halfway through the interview process, I think.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys. And I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Given the nature of this game, and I've seen a couple of reviews on it and I've talked to a couple of friends about it, you unlock things in a different order depending on how you play, and it's almost chance how you come about things. So one of my friends mentioned he didn't come across her name until really late in the game. Now, given that we've uncovered Eve, so almost the last clip, so one thing we can check here is this. I guess refresh. Yes, we've got one of the last clips from the lie detector and uncovered that she was lying, and then found that fact about her name and him recognizing her name from the tattoo. So I'm guessing Eve is like her, it's her. What's the word? Like imaginary friend. But as she's grown older, she's almost taken over that personality. So with that in mind, I could be wrong. Let's listen to the rest.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach. And I held her head under and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We were made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
So again, I don't know if that's fantasy or if they actually is a friend, a real-life person.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Interesting. Again, I don't know whether or not it is just fantasy or what.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Odd one. So I'm thinking there. Did she do a little bit of Morse code in the middle of that? I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. I'm wondering if she's got a split personality. That's what I'm starting to wonder now. So this is back on the last day. Let's see. No, this one we've seen, I think.
My mother called me Eve.
Ah. My mother called me Eve. So... Oh, we need like the next one in line to that. See, we're getting these in line here. I think. Actually, I'm going to keep this up. My mother called me Eve. Mother? I reckon that's the next one in line, yeah.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story?
Yes.
It's a real-life fairy tale.
I want to hear more of that. I've heard her mention, she goes all misty-eyed when she mentions fairy tales. So which one? So that is the third in sequence. So we want to get this whole story out. So, adoption? Adopted? I've read types in Mother, haven't I? I don't want to go back. Daughter? Child? Is that the next one? It seems a little bit later, so let's see.
No. It was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
This woman is not all she seems. I know there's other things to look at, but I'm kind of determined to get this bit in order, which I think we are about to.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Right. Whoa! Did you see that? So Hannah is her sister. So she pretended to be Hannah to the man. Oh, so is Simon Hannah's husband? Because they must be twins. They must be twins. Yeah, that's why they were going on about the likeness. So they're twins, Hannah and Eve. She's Eve, she pretended to be Hannah. But in the earlier story about throttling Eve, she was talking as Hannah, so she's got a little bit of split personality going on there. I'm going to add that down to the session below. So let's go to the next one.